What is up, YouTube? It's your boys, Big Creeks, Tommy Zachary, back with King to the Clubhouse. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Jump right into it. Cubs signed Justin Turner to a 1-year, $6 million deal this morning. I think it's a sneaky move. It's the best bench piece they've put together. I don't think he'll play much third, but he will back up Bush and platoon, hit lefties, and DH some. Like I said, I think it's a good signing. I think it's a really good signing. Veteran leader, he's won, knows what it takes to win. He's going to help this ball club out.
Yeah, I think the veteran presence will help a little bit. I know we're not, and obviously we're not super old, but we're also not super young. But we definitely have some guys that are coming up, making their way. It'll definitely be good for them to have that veteran presence in the locker room. They're only paying him $6 million a year, so it's not that much of
Better
a
than
big
the
hit.
40 million.
Yeah. Obviously, we talked about Bregman signing to the Red Sox. There's talks about that now with him and Devers. That's going to be a whole thing. So I think Jed was really upset that we didn't add Bregman. I think this is not a makeup, but I think this is,
It's a
hey,
good pivot.
we can pivot here. We can sign him. It fills our need for, excuse me, like you said, a backup first baseman, backup platoon guy.
A good right-handed bat off the
Right.
bench,
And
which we did not have.
he could hit 25, 30 home runs a year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not out of his wheelhouse.
His OPS was only like 4 points lower than Bregman's last year.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping what they do is they leave the roster as it is. Everyone's reported to spring training. The games are going to start coming pretty soon here.
tomorrow, Cubs' first game's tomorrow.
I thought it
I
was
played Thursday. Or Thursday, man. It's Thursday and Friday.
So, I'm what I'm hoping is they let the roster be how it is. The only other person I'd like them to bring in is Chapman. We just lost, or not Chapman,
Chafin.
yes.
Yeah.
Because we just lost.
Zastrinsky
Yeah.
signed with the Yankees, right?
Yep. So, he's gone. We're a little thin in our lefty.
I mean, we DFA'd him, so the chances of him actually making an impact
Right.
were very slim. But yeah, we need another left-handed arm. But they
It,
also need to let Luke Little
pitch.
have the opportunity.
Right. Yeah. And he got the invite to spring training, so it's there. There's a lot of
But
what
he's
I'm
so
hoping. Yeah, what I'm hoping they do is they leave the roster as it is. Maybe add Chafin just as another backup end piece, and then come June, July, we spend the money that we would have spent on the $40 million for Bregman per year, or $30 million rather than what we offered him, and we turn around and we trade for another big name guy to put on the payroll, or we use that money to then get a Tucker extension done before the season's over.
I'm here for that. Like I said, Cubs do open spring training versus the Dodgers on Thursday, and then Cubs and Dodgers play again on Friday, and then 9 other teams play their first games as well. The Red Sox are the only ones that aren't playing another major league team. They're playing a college team, which they normally do. They play those Ivy League schools.
Yep.
Um,
Which that's cool, whatever. I mean, speaking while we're on the Red Sox, we might as well just pivot to it. Uh, in an interview yesterday, Devers, they were asking Devers, how he feels about the Bregman signing and if they've talked
if he
to
was
him at
going to move.
all, if he's going to move to first base, and he's like, no, my position's third base. They're like, well, what about DH? And he's like, no, I'm the third baseman, and that's who I am. And then
Previous
yeah,
guys in charge promised him some stuff that the current ones are not wanting to do.
yeah,
Which, I
and
mean,
yeah, Alex Gore basically said that. He's like, there were different people in the building, so it's a whole different thing. I could see him getting traded, but you made a good point. No one's going to want to take on that contract with the extension that he just signed
for 8 years.
Yeah, so it's going to be rough road to start there in Boston. I'll say that.
They could have a really good infield.
Yeah.
If Story gets back to even remotely what he was in Colorado, say the hypothetical that he does stay at third, they put Bregman at second, you got Story at short, and then
Hmm.
Casas at first. I mean, they got better signing Bregman. I
Yeah.
still don't
I
think
mean,
it's
they
enough
did.
to win the East,
I
but I
think,
think they compete for the wild card spot.
yeah, and especially with, it was just announced that Shane um, McClanahan or whatever is going to be getting the open day nod for the or for the Rays. He's all set to go. Like it's that division's going to be very tough this year. I feel.
Yeah, and the
Not
Rays
that
are
it,
always
yeah, not that it isn't,
sneakily in there.
not that it isn't tough in other years, but I think with the
But the
Orioles,
disparity when we were growing up between it was the Red Sox or Yankees,
yeah,
like our childhood,
now
and then in
it's,
high school it was the Orioles snuck in there a couple years, but now it's anybody's game.
mhm,
So I mean I like to see that. Hop into our last little bit of MLB. Geraldo Perdomo signed a 4-year, $45 million extension with the Diamondbacks to play shortstop, which they have two two of the best shortstop prospects in baseball.
yeah.
Blaze Jordan will probably play third, and not sure what they're gonna do with Lawler,
I don't know,
but
dude.
that's just
That was
and Catel's at second. I know he can play outfield, but they're kind of loaded in the outfield
it
too.
just didn't it did I don't get me wrong, I like the siding. It just didn't really make sense for, you know, like you said, they're just so loaded in those middle and even in their infielder
I
positions.
think the thought process is Suarez is done after this year with the Diamondbacks, and he's like 38.
Yeah.
They're not gonna re-sign him. So I would assume they're gonna move on over. Cattell will still be on the team. He might DH or
But
have him
it'll
split time between second outfield and DH
yeah, but it'll
because
be time
you
for
want to
him
keep his
to
bat.
get moving too.
But Lawler and Jordan will definitely be getting some playing time after this year.
Yeah. We'll transition over into some NBA hoops.
Some NBA,
Michigan or NBA college. Well,
NCAA. Yep.
yeah, the NBA we can say one sentence and that's about it. The NBA All Star Game was once again just a piece of shit. Um, they had three different teams. It was cool. I saw
Four.
something. Yeah, four different teams. I saw something that out of the 3 hours of
There's like 40 minutes of
there
basketball.
was like 46 minutes of basketball, which that's just fucking absurd. Like the
The
intros
amount
itself.
of time between the first game and the second game was almost an hour.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And
It just wasn't good. They've been trying to tweak it. They've been trying to do
it's
all this
rec league
stuff.
basketball. It's basketball at the Y.
Yeah,
Like, and people don't want to watch it anymore. They don't want to play defense, which NBA a lot of players don't play defense. But no one wants to watch a shootout 150 to 160.
yeah.
And like these games, they capped it at 40. But you like, I would go to the Y and play myself if that's the type of hoops I want to watch.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just people going down there chucking up threes 5 feet from beyond the arc.
Get a screen at the
Yeah,
top of the key, take 2 steps and shoot it.
yeah.
And
That
like the dunk
just
contest, Mac McClung, a G leaguer, he's made more winning the dunk contest than he's made playing professional basketball.
Yeah, and now they're talking about, oh, John Morant said he was going to do it next year, and that's
And
how it
Giannis
always, yeah,
possibly,
that's
yeah.
how it always goes. That after it happens, they're all like, oh yeah, we'll do it next year, and then the time comes, and
Ja's
they're
been
like,
saying it for 3 years since he came in the league
yeah,
that,
then they'll come
well,
back
maybe
and
next year.
be like, oh well, maybe not. But yeah, the NBA just overall in general, I think obviously NBA playoffs are good.
The only thing I enjoy watching All Star Weekend, the celebrity game.
Yeah, that's because
It's
it's
funny
fun.
to it's fun.
Yeah,
Like that's the only thing I care to watch. I used to watch a Future Stars game because that was cool to see young guys who you might not see on TV all the time.
right.
But now they merged that with the game itself. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
watched the game. I watched the highlights of the game
I
because
didn't even watch. I didn't watch a single thing for the NBA this weekend. Not a single thing.
I watched the first game, and then once it took an hour to start the second game, I turned it off. It's like I'm not watching this. This is gonna be on until midnight.
Yeah, it was stupid.
We'll hop into some college hoops. Michigan State took down Illinois 79-65 on Saturday. after trailing by 16 in the first half. They cut the deficit to 4, I think it was, to end the half.
Yep.
With that win, Izzo became the winningest coach in Big Ten history, passing Bobby Knight, which I didn't know that his first win was against Bobby Knight.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was
Um,
pretty cool.
Another fun fact from that game: um, Illinois had
They
-2 points in the
negative
last
two
6 minutes
points
of
in the
the game
last,
because they reviewed a goaltending call that they ended up
which
reversing.
was that was an awful call. I'm glad it got reversed. That was
Yeah,
it wasn't even close.
yeah. So, Michigan stays on top though. They win a close one against Ohio State, 86-83. They are in sole possession of the Big Ten right now. Um, they
Till
got
Friday.
got some upcoming games this weekend that are going to be big. Uh, we'll talk about. I guess you could talk about state starting since they'll be playing tonight.
Yep, Purdue travels East Lansing tonight. Huge top 15 and Big Ten matchup. Winner will have sole possession of second place, and this is a must-win for state because they win tonight and they beat Michigan on Friday. They will have possession of first place again. But like Michigan and Michigan State play twice in like 10 days.
Yep.
We're getting to
So
the end of February where every game matters.
yep. Michigan plays Saturday. And they don't have
They
a
play
game.
Friday and Saturday.
No, they don't play for. Or sorry, they play Friday. They don't have a game until Friday. So, but they're going to or East
That's
Lansing.
it.
Yeah, it's in
No,
Ann
it's in
Arbor,
Ann Arbor.
at the Chrysler Center. So it's going to be Michigan versus Michigan State. They're both doing well. Michigan's 12-2 in the Big Ten. Michigan State's 11-3. So, like you said, if they win against Purdue, then it's very well first place battle. So it's good to see though. Michigan. I mean they got hot and they've kind of stayed hot.
Besides, since the ass whooping to Purdue, they've been
Yeah,
hot. Yeah.
and I think that really woke him up. Dusty
Yeah.
May's been doing a really good job there. So got his name right this time too.
There we go.
Well,
And it won't be number 14 versus number 12.
Yep, that is true. That
That's
is
how
true
we do.
because the standings
Michigan
don't
jumped them
change.
finally.
Yep, they don't change until Tuesday, right? It's Tuesdays they come out, or is it Mondays?
Mondays.
We will pop over a little bit into NHL. Speaking of the All Star game, we were talking about the NBA All Star game. The NHL is doing the All Star game a little bit different this year. They're doing what's called the Four Nations, and
Chef's kiss.
it is great.
It's been a masterclass.
Yes, essentially what they did is they said, "Hey, we're going to switch it into the four countries that
Represent the NHL.
represent the
basically.
NHL." They eliminated Russia because of the stuff that's going on with Ukraine, and then Germany didn't have enough active NHL players to field the team. So they said the four nations are going to be USA, Canada, Sweden, Finland, and we're just going to have the best play the best. And it has been an absolute masterclass.
Been awesome.
USA and Canada are the match for the finals. If you watched the game on Saturday, I didn't get a chance to watch, but three fights
Awesome.
within the first 9 seconds of the game. I mean, they were just throwing up barn burners, throwing up hits all left and right. It was really great to see. It was in Canada, so they booed the national anthem when they started it, and that seemed to really piss off everyone on USA's team. What I'm hoping is it doesn't have the opposite effect for Canada this week because the final is in
Yeah.
Boston on Thursday, and they're going to boo that living fuck out of Canada. So
Yep.
it's going to be
We'll
interesting.
see how
to
it goes.
It's United States lost last night. They went up 1-0, they ended up losing 3-1 or 2-1 maybe. But they, I think part of them, like I said, the game yesterday for the United States didn't matter at all. The finals were already set going into that last game in the round robin. So USA versus Canada, best versus the best. Obviously,
Should be another slobber knocker.
yeah, it's going to be must see TV, especially with this this dead period we got between the Super Bowl and March Madness. It's definitely going to be something to keep your eyes on.
Way better than the NBA. And they're off for us the week too, so hop into Monday Night Raw, which was last night. Open the shows. We got Sammy versus KO in an unsanctioned match come Elimination Chamber next Saturday, or 2 Saturdays. Yeah, right?
Yep. 2 Saturdays.
No, next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday.
Okay.
Um, I saw a stat that said they've had 14 matches in WWE and KO is up 10-4. Um, I did see something this morning too that said Sammy versus KO unsanctioned leaves room for Randy Orton to come back and punt KO and give Sammy the win, setting up their match at Mania.
Okay.
I'd be here for that.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that.
They're gonna beat the shit out of each other, and
Yeah,
I can't wait.
it's gonna be I mean, Sammy came out with a promo yesterday. It's not very often that, dude. If this cat doesn't fucking stop, knock it off. Sorry. Sammy came out and he said, there's not a whole lot of times where people will come up through indies, through NXT, have their own way in WWE. It's truly,
you can't talk about one without talking about the other.
Yes, and I think that's what's going to make this match just great. Like you said, I think it being in Toronto also is really cool. They're both from Canada, started in Canada.
That's where they started their journey together, was in Montreal.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be really cool. I do think it's going to set. I think we get a Randy return. I think it's going to set up Randy and KO at Mania. And I don't know what they're going to do with Sammy, but I think it's going to be a great match.
I think we get a banger. AJ Styles beat Dirty Dom. Afterwards, Braun Breaker tried to get the upper hand on AJ. Ends up spearing Dom instead. It's a good match.
Yeah.
I think we're getting the old AJ Styles when he first came on the main roster, and I think eventually we're gonna get one last title run.
Yeah. Do you think they do triple threat with those two and Dom? Like, you think that was what that was setting it up, or you think Dom was just there?
I don't know. I think Dom was just casualty.
I think
we get AJ versus Braun.
Would it be at Chamber?
I don't think it. We'll have to see what they do next week. Obviously, it is next week, but Monday will decide whether it's at Chamber which they could have it before.
Yeah, or they could do it the same time or the same Raw that Rhea is defending the belt against Io. So they could do it.
Yeah, the Monday after.
So you never know. I'm sure we'll find out more next week. Kind of a match that we were happy to see the outcome of. Dakota Kai defeated Ivy Nile and is now the #1 contender for the women's IC title again. Lyra was ringside. It was a really good match. Dakota Kai's matches are always really great. Yes. I know we're a little obsessed with her in the fact of her just as a person. She is such a great wrestler.
She's an awesome wrestler, and she finally is getting to show that.
Yes, and it's really cool to see. I think this is going to be her run where she's gonna get it. That is set for next week's Raw, right?
I believe so.
Okay. I believe that is correct.
Then we had Penta and Pete Dunne. Penta beat Pete Dunne, another banger. Like Penta he's just keeping the momentum going.
Yep.
Banger after banger. It's so much fun to watch. Ludwig Kaiser did come out. I see us getting a triple threat with those three. Yep. Just beat the shit out of each other. That'll probably be my cat's going crazy. Probably just be a random Monday Night Raw. We get that match. But I'm here for it. Like I said, they're building Penta's a superstar already.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're letting him do what he wants to do. And like you said, it was just an absolute banger of a match. It's really cool. They're just kind of letting Penta do what Penta does, and eventually it's going to be cool for him to. Do you think he's going to? I think
post Mania. I don't know if they turn him heel. I would say so. I think post Mania, they're really going to strap the rocket on Penta.
Yeah, I agree. Let him.
I think they got all these. I think they got all these storylines they want to get through right now, and that's why they're just giving him good opponents to just have bangers with. That's kind of what I think's going on.
Yeah, I agree. have him fight very technical sound guys, so it looks very good, and
And just show out.
just show off your move set, and have at it when the time comes. It's going to be your moment. Roxanne Perez defeated Raquel to take the final spot in the women's elimination chamber match. Bianca and Naomi came out and attacked Liv for attacking Jade. I don't know about you. I don't think that was the outcome of that.
Bianca did it.
Yeah, I think Bianca did it. And I think that they're gonna turn Bianca heel, which is gonna be weird.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
They turned the Street Profits heel, so.
Right, and that's what kind of first got my eyes on it. I was like, okay, this is interesting to see. With them coming back and beating the shit out of DIY and helping them retain. But then it was like, okay, well, if Bianca does this, I mean, her and Montez Ford are obviously married, have outside life and stuff like that. But
so it's very hard to have one of them heel, one of them face.
So it's a lot of their stuff they do not together, but when the Street Profits are
together,
they're parallel.
Together,
yes,
they're parallel.
When the Street Profits are getting TV time, she's going to get TV time. They're always going to travel together. They're always going to make accommodations for them to show up at events together. For them, even though Montez Ford isn't A-list, I wouldn't say WWE superstar.
He's got the potential to be a star. But
absolutely, but he's been, he's definitely not on Bianca's level as far as notoriety.
Right now, they're on the same level.
Yes.
They've got Bianca listed as a mid-carder.
Yep, that also not confirmed, but it scheduled the tag team title match for next Sunday. I think we get a Jade return, or next
Monday. Yeah.
I think we get a Jade return, and she's going to cost Naomi and Bianca the titles, and that's how Naomi, Bianca, and Jade all split up, essentially.
Yeah. Then we had the New Day come out, explain the reasoning for beating down Ray. The remaining members of LWO come out and attack them, continuing their feud. Which, I mean, I'm fine with it. They're beating up the right people to get heat.
Yeah.
Because a team like the New Day was very, very hard to turn heel, with how loved they are and well liked and over they are as faces. They're doing it right.
Yeah,
they turned on Big E. Yep. They beat up Rey Mysterio, who everybody loves, and this is going to build LWO as faces as well.
Yes, and I think it's really needed too. LWO, granted they're on the main roster, but they're kind of very far back.
They're there. They're just there.
Half the time they're there to come out with Rey on his entrance, and that's it. Or
have a backstage segment.
Yeah, or congratulate him at the end of the match and come out there, or some. It's good to see them getting some more screen time and getting more of their.
We're gonna actually get some action from them too,
which would be cool. Final match of the night: Seth beat Finn in the main event to qualify for the Chamber. Another great match, very reminiscent of their inaugural match for the Universal title a couple years ago. It's those guys have gone at it a bunch of times. I think they were like 12. They've wrestled 12 times or something like that
on TV.
Yeah, on TV. Not to mention all the house shows, all the indie show. However else you want to do it, they know each other through and through. That was a great match. Seth enters the Chamber, so now the two chambers are fully set for the men. It's John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Jay. Is it only 5? I thought it was 6. Who was the last one?
You say Punk?
Yep. Cena,
Punk,
Drew,
Damian, Seth, Logan Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So, that the men's are set. The women's are set too. Women's is Liv, Roxanne, Bianca, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and who was the last one?
It's a good question. I just saw this.
It's Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, right? Didn't she qualify?
No, she lost. Bailey.
Bailey, yeah, duh.
Bailey, Bianca, Roxanne, Bliss, Liv, Naomi.
Yep. But yeah, Chamber's coming up, and then after Chamber,
The
it's
full steam ahead for
it's
Mania.
full Mania season, baby.
Speaking of Mania, so with
Yes.
that, we'll probably put out a Saturday episode. Day one Mania, just covering both nights of WrestleMania. Like both, we'll look forward to night one, night two,
And
with
then
our
do a
predictions
Monday
and stuff,
episode.
and have our own. Like that'll be its own show.
Yep.
The Friday episode we'll talk about other sports because baseball will be in full swing. We'll have March Madness. No, we
Yep.
should be close to the national championship.
Yep.
So we'll have our own episode of that. We'll have the look forward to for Friday. I know this is still 2 months, almost 2 months away. But we'll break that up, and then the Monday night episode or Tuesday episode, we'll cover WrestleMania and then whatever sports stuff is going on. So just kind of a heads up for that. I figure that's the best way to do it since
Yeah,
Mania
I
is
agree.
the biggest.
I agree.
Biggest thing in
if
wrestling.
Not, we could do one at the end of each show and just have them be short, separate episodes, like how we did with the breaking news episode when I did with Ben Johnson.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
You know, we'll see. We'll tweak
Or
it
we
out.
could do a preview on Saturday morning and then Sunday night do a recap.
Yeah,
And have
could
it
do
go
that.
up Monday morning.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But I want to say thank you for 600 views on the page. Appreciate it. Numbers are still going up. Appreciate you guys. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment anything. Appreciate the love and support so far. You got anything?
No, I think that'll do it for me.
All right. We will catch you guys on Friday. Peace.